Yes.
Good afternoon, Dr. Schmidt. I'm John Simpson. I am a shareholder, and I also am the Privacy Project Director for ConsumerWatchdog. Recently, you were appointed to the New York State Smart Schools Commission, which is charged with advising the state on how they should spend a $2 billion bond issue to bring technology into the state schools. It's a wonderful, wonderful idea. But you are the only voice of technology there, and the only corporate member, and frankly, I cannot understand how you can serve on that board without having a flagrant conflict of interest. I wonder if you could explain how that's possible.
Have you done anything for the citizens and the students of the state of New York at Consumer Watchdog?
I happen to be a member of a library commission.
Good, excellent. I've done exactly nothing, and I decided that I would like to help. And you all have now filed a complaint on this very matter under a set of specious circumstances. So from my perspective, I'm just trying to help. It seems to me that the government might be better off having somebody who has some technical knowledge advising on the procurement of software, and that software is in a business that Google is not in. Furthermore, the commission that I'm in has no actual control over the allocation of the money. I hope that's a clear answer.
Second question?
Go ahead. And by the way, I would really like you next time when you come, because you asked a question next year, I'd really like you to have actually done something about the New York situation with respect to students and education, rather than just complaining about me. Go ahead. Because I might have actually had a meeting between that now and then, maybe in the next 6 months, because the governments take a while. Please go ahead. Next question.
Sure. The question is, the European High Court of Justice has just recognized the so-called right to be forgotten. You've been quoted in various places. I think this was with Reuters, saying that if we don't fight for our privacy, we will lose it. But in this particular instance, Google was on the opposite side of what many of us would think would be privacy protective. So the question is, how do you feel about this right to be forgotten, and what impact will it have on Google's operations?
Maybe David and I a simple way of understanding what happened here is that you have a collision between a right to be forgotten and a right to know. From Google's perspective, that's a balance. And I spoke about this in my book, right, which I'm sure you have read.
I have.
And the book actually says you have to find a balance. And there are arguments on both sides. Google believes, having looked at the decision, which is binding, that the balance that was struck was wrong. David?
Yeah, I think that's right. It's a disappointing decision. We think it went too far in sort of and didn't consider adequately the impact on free expression, which is absolutely a human right. So we're still studying it and trying to understanding the implications of it. But as Eric said, we think the balance could be struck in a different way.
And I think it's fair to say that there's a lot of things that are now going to happen. The ECJ has now remanded, if I get it right.
It'll go back to the Spanish court.
To the Spanish court. The Spanish court will have to rule. There's many, many, many open questions. So to get that right, Kent, I think that's sort of where we are.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 4.
Good afternoon. My name is Tobias